Black Visions TV.
Them boy, they dead.
No faggot, no gay, no lesbian. Welcome to Jamaica.
We ain't going nowhere. So for me, move forward, Jamaica, not backwards. Hello.
Hi, we're at the British Film Institute for the Lesbian and Gay Film Festival. We're here to see the screening of Taboo Yardies. We're going to speak to the director of the film and also the founder of the festival.
I have challenged the gay community to explain when they insist that we must change our laws to recognize and accept homosexual relations as a normal thing, and we must do it because people should be free to choose. That's the philosophical argument.
There's a lot of anger in the culture, and we haven't been able to just put it out on the table and deal with it effectively.
Anytime you are known faggot at Jamaica, you're going to get beaten. If I'm not today, or tomorrow.
Yeah. I've been attacked. I've had people try to turn my car over with me in it, mobbed, verbally abused.
First time I was brutally kind of attacked in a sexual way was when men found out that I was a lesbian.
If you figure, just by the fact that you going around and killing off gay people, that's gonna end it. It's not. I was born this way.
Right, just come out of watching Taboo Yardies. What are your thoughts about the film?
I think it's a really good reflection on the colonisation that's left behind from British rule, speaking about the brutality of the buggery laws which exist in Jamaica, the black community itself, but also the religious aspect.
I think that the film, for me, made me think really about how it could be used in this country. I know that at the moment, obviously, it's difficult to show the film sort of in the country that it's about, but actually, points that were made at the end about the fact that actually there are problems in this country with the Jamaican community, with the black community.
So you think it could be applied in the same way?
Absolutely. I mean, I think that's the biggest thing. I think the whole question about religion is difficult, how to overturn that, because that seems to be like the source of the problem.
We've just finished watching the screening of Taboo Yardies, and I'm now here with the director, Miss Selena Blake, and we're going to discuss a bit more about the film and the making behind it. So what made you want to do this subject?
Well, Taboo Yardies was not a documentary that I woke up one day and I said, I'm going to make this film. It didn't happen that way. Some friends said to me, I can't go to Jamaica and I can't do this, and and I thought, what are you talking about? They're like, well, being a gay man, it's difficult and I can't be myself in Jamaica. And I started doing a little bit of research, and then I would hear other people say, someone would say something to you and someone else will say something to you and someone else will say, and you go, wait. And there's an old phrase that if you hear something or if you do something more than 3 times, it becomes a pattern. Yeah. And it started a pattern, and I'm like, what the hell is this? And so I got curious, and one thing led to another, and you get so deep, it's like the rabbit hole, you fall into it and you keep going and going, and that's how I started with Taboo Yardies.
So what challenges did you face when you was making the film? Was it all a challenge?
Oh my God, what challenge did I not face? Financial challenges. It was a challenge. There were times when I looked at myself and I said, what the f are you doing? Why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's like I have family members that we get into heated conversation because of this. And so I don't talk to them about this.
So your family don't know that you've made this film?
No, they do know,
They know now.
but they have never seen it.
Wow. What do you think their reaction would be?
At this point now, I don't care.
Okay.
I don't care. Back then, I cared because emotionally, it's a difficult film to make, and the stories and the people that we've chosen to be in the film, and the young lady in the film that cuts. I mean, I remember when I first filmed her because she didn't want anyone else to film her, and so I had to film her
by yourself.
Yes. And her story gave me nightmares. And there's so many other interviews that I've done that has given me nightmares. And
how did you convince the people in the film that were blurred out to be a part of?
It was difficult. It was so damn difficult. I remember going to Jamaica the first time I went there to film, and I worked with J-Flag to get people on ground. And when I would call, nobody, you know, everybody was, they were busy or call me back or some stuff. And I remember saying, what the there's got to be gay people in Jamaica. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you? I was so angry. I was so angry. And I said, okay, calm down. Calm down. It's just a matter of trust. They don't know you. They don't know you. And you have to prove yourself. But, you know, it took a moment. And then, once everything gelled, it was one interview after the next, and this one, and you have to talk to this person, and you have to meet that. And so they trusted me, which was huge.
Yeah.
You know, and it was a, you know, I mean, I have certain people that I would work with in production regarding the faces, and I'm like, you know, we have to make sure everything is blurred. I mean, I drove my editors mad, to, you know, just to make sure the faces and all of that were blurred out and the voices pitched. But yeah, Jamaica, finding the people there took a minute.
So what do you think now has to be done in terms of the government for this to move forward and for people that are gay in Jamaica to come out openly and safely?
I think a comprehensive education program. I think having dialogue within rural areas throughout the island.
Do you think that will ever happen?
Of course it will, at some point. You know, I mean, if you keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, something's going to have to give. So is this something that we believe in? Do we as a human being, gay, straight, bi, trans, whatever it is, do we believe that we all have the right to coexist regardless of our religion, race, sexual orientation? Do we believe that? And if we strongly believe in that, then keep pushing, because I believe that. And I think, you know, we should all come together, because before you know it, it's going to be, you know, another issue in the sense of stereotyping, marginalizing people, you know. So we have to look at this from the perspective of human rights, because if there was never human wrong, we would have no need for human rights. And so this is a human wrong.
With the recent laws passed in Uganda, do you think Jamaica is headed into that direction as well?
Oh no. No. Oh hell no. No.
Why do you agree?
I think Jamaica is a little better in the mindset and within the government. And
do you think it's because it's slightly westernized and they're more open? Because they're getting influence from Europe, America, it's more of an open subject than places like Uganda who may not be getting that influence?
I don't know that for a fact, but what I can say is, you know what, maybe, very much so, but also within the culture, someone said in the audience earlier that, you know, there are people within powers in Jamaica that are gay.
Yeah.
I don't know if the same thing in Uganda.
Okay.
And it's not, as he was saying, I'm not going to call names.
Yeah.
And he can openly say about certain people in politics that he knows for sure that are. You can't say that about people in Uganda. I think right now is the mindset of the people, because if the buggery law is repealed, it doesn't change the mindset.
Yeah. Because they'll always find a way to get that
Exactly.
to stay.
Well, no, not the law. Once the buggery law is off the books, because the buggery law doesn't make any sense. You know, I'm practical, makes sense, you know. And the reason why I'm saying the buggery law doesn't make any sense, and I've talked to people within the government structure, and they have said that to me personally, that the buggery law, then I said, why the hell is it there if it doesn't make any sense? Because buggeries have an anal sex, whether it's with a female, male, female, or two guys. And how many people you know are police in heterosexual bedroom to find out that they're having, you know, anal sex? And as someone said, and I know I'm digressing from it, this young man said, you know, buggery belongs to us. People in the heterosexual community should not take that, that's ours, but I know I'm digressing. But it makes no sense to have that law and to say that, you know, and back to Uganda, even in Jamaica you have 10 years imprisonment and all of that, and I know people in the a particular guy in the film was arrested because he's gay. But I think Uganda, it's a different layer, it's a different level. So I do see in my lifetime Jamaica becoming an island where your sexual orientation will no longer be an issue. How great would that be?
It would be great. So where can people find more information about Taboo Yardies?
Go to tabooyardies.com. www.tabooyardies.com.
And where else do you hope to screen the film? Like, what are your expectations to take Taboo Yardies to?
My expectation, I'd love to go anywhere on this planet Earth to show the film, have dialogue, because I think that's how we can start the healing process. That's how we can break down barriers and debunk myths and all of that stuff, is to talk to people. So wherever, you know, they know the film, they know where it's at, call us, reach out to us, we'll be happy to screen it and have dialogue. And I look forward to going back to Jamaica to show it throughout Jamaica and have dialogue, you know, within the communities, the Rastas, and, you know, everyone there. And hopefully we can
What do you think their response will be if you go to a part of Jamaica where most of this kind of discrimination is taking place?
What do I think?
Yeah, what do you think their response will be?
Oh, it's gonna be hell. You know, us Caribbean folks, we're gonna break shit up and then we're gonna come together. But, you know, that's it. You know, I mean, I'm not looking for people to agree with me. I'm looking for people to express how they feel, and then I can work from there. You know, it's not about the community, because the community there understand. And I always say, try driving and looking back every time you're driving. You can never move forward. To be in the shoe of a gay person, you constantly have to look behind you, because you don't really know at what time somebody's going to do something, harm you. You know, and whether, it doesn't matter where in the life in Jamaica you are, you know, high, doesn't really matter. You're rich, poor, you have, it's in the back of your mind. And to get to a place where that's no longer an issue, that's a beautiful space to be. And we're hoping that we can find a space where we can all coexist, gay, straight, everyone, and move about our business, because a gay person doesn't stop you from feeding your family, you know, going to school, bettering yourself. They don't. And they don't take anything from you, and you can't catch it. You know, so we need to understand and walk in their shoes and see what it feels like, because sometimes we tend to be judgmental. And understand what it's like for a gay person, their daily life, what they have to go through, and how much they have to hide who they truly are, just so they can please you know, the public. And it's hard, and nobody should have to do that. Life is hard enough.
Yeah.
Good God.
How do you feel the Jamaican government will suffer economically if the attitudes towards homosexuality do not change?
I think we'll suffer greatly. I mean, in the documentary you have Bruce Golding that said, you know, in 2009 or so, Jamaica has had, during the economic crisis, that Jamaica has had the best year ever. And I think right now, if tourists really stop, in the sense, boycotting Jamaica, I think they will feel it. They truly will, and the impact will be within the communities. And that was one of the things that I was saying. I'd rather not having boycott in Jamaica because it will affect the poor of the poorest. And the attitudes coming from that will trickle down into the communities, and that's the last thing you need to have perpetrated on them for causing. You know, because of course, you know, the Great Storm in Jamaica years ago, it was blamed on gays. So you know they're powerful. They're powerful to create storms, but they're not powerful enough to have violence, to stop the violence from being perpetrated on them. So yeah.
In terms of that, there's a notion that people have said that there is no violence in the gay community in Jamaica. But your film obviously has proved that.
You know, wow, I've heard that. I've heard that, and when the people within the community whom I filmed, and they see clips like that, they go, who the fuck have they talked to? Where are they? Where did they get this footage from? Because yes, they're violent, and it's not gays killing gays. Are there some incidents? Yes, but it's not across the board. And come on. We know this. You just didn't wake up one day and pull it out of your ass and say, you know, no one in Jamaica is, come on. It's rubbish. There's no intellect.
Do you think that came out because they're trying to keep the tourism at a high?
Of course. Yeah, that's just something you pull out of your ass. Come on.
That's understandable.
I can answer that question because it's rubber.
Okay. So international aids, or such as IMF and World Bank, have threatened to withhold aid from countries such as Uganda and Jamaica if human rights atrocities continue. What are your thoughts on that?
That might be a good idea. That might be a good idea. Because sometimes
make them wake up.
Yeah. It might push the issue a little faster to say let's deal with it. It might. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes you might need a little push to do something.
Yeah.
And if they understand that, I know it may sound that I'm flip-flopping with tourism and all of that, but it's a little different there. Yeah.
But do you think it will punish the country in a way as well because of that? And it may start a problem, as you said, in terms of tourism, and people will start blaming the gays for that happening.
Yes and no. I mean, to do anything that is going to push forward rights for LGBT folks in Jamaica, you're going to have to do something. And I understand with the tourism, because that's a one-on-one where they interact with the community and the people there. But sometimes you will have to say, look, if you do this, that's what's going to happen. Cause and effect.
What did you want to gain from making the film?
What I would like to gain from making the film is to have all Jamaicans live as one, not one love for straight people and no love for gay people. Just one love, you know, not one law for straight people and another law that governs gay people, one law across the board. No one gets to choose their sexual orientation. You don't choose that. That's who you are. We're not talking about sex workers. We're talking about people who are born gay, and that's just who they are. And I hope that we can find a place where we can seriously take into consideration that we're all Jamaicans. There's no other islands to go put gays off to and send them away. They're not going to go away. They are woven into the green, the black, and the yellow of our great flag. And my whole purpose and gain for making this film is to reach a place for respect, tolerance, and understanding. I may disagree with you, but I don't have the right to kill you. And we have to get to that place. And that is my biggest dream with this film.
So how do you feel like the screenings that you've done in London have been?
Oh my God, they've been, I didn't even let you finish what you were saying. Oh my God, I would say the London Film Festival here, the Gay Lesbian Film Festival, is the best. The very, 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 very best film festival I have ever had the pleasure to be a part of. They have done so much to promote Taboo Yardies, and I've never been to another film festival where everything is sold out and there's a waiting list and there's a waiting list for the waiting list. They've put just so much work and effort into promoting this and just putting the word out there about human rights. And there are no words, you know. It's been wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Brian, you know, they've done so much for the film. And I will say this, I've been showing now for over a year, and I've gone to a number of different film festivals. And I know I'll be going to others, but I don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, but I can speak for now. And as I said, this will always be the premiere of the premiere of the premiere. You know what I mean? Because I've never been in a space where my work felt as if it was the most important thing. And I'm trying to put the words because, you know, trying to let it all sink in. But this is the best one I've ever been in. Thank you.
Well, it's been very nice speaking with you.
Likewise.
And safe trip home.
Thank you. And you promised me fish and chips.
We'll get her some fish and chips. Hi, I'm with Brian Robinson, one of the programmers of the Lesbian and Gay Film Festival. I'm just going to find out a bit more about the festival and the history behind it. So you can tell us a bit more about why it was started and how it's gone over the years in terms of films and exposure and stuff like that.
Well, the festival dates back to 1986 when a group of people got together and thought we need gay representation. There were so many films out there, there are other festivals in other countries, and we want to have it here in Britain. In the 80s, there was a lot of bad stuff going on, that AIDS was coming to public consciousness, and there were things like a local gay newspaper, Capital Gay, was firebombed. People were worried about the lack of gay representation and possible legal sanctions against gay people. So it was an attempt to redress the balance, to give lesbian and gay people their proper cultural heritage in front of them, see the best in world cinema, that the festival started here at the British Film Institute. Other cultural institutions have caught up in recent years and do something for the LGBT community. But we were a leader, a pioneer in serving our community.
Black Visions TV.